Hey Jeff,
Hi, Jordan.
I love horror games.
You love what?
Horror games.
Oh, I thought you said whores.
I love horror games.
Yeah, I like them too. K-Set.
KSET, that's Konami Computer Entertainment Tokyo. They developed the game we're playing today, and that's Silent Hill. We're showing off Silent Hill, Jeff.
Oh, I'm excited.
You should be. It's a great game. It is Silent Hill's 15th anniversary. The original Silent Hill came out on PS1 January 31st, 1999. I was 16 years old.
Was 13.
13?
Wait. Yeah, 13.
Yeah, well, the game came out, and I was already a huge fan of Resident Evil, as well as all the weird pseudo horror games back in the day that I used to play, like Splatterhouse and Chiller on the NES. So, because I was such a big Resident Evil fan, I thought this game looked awesome, and I had to try it. Now, interesting story about this game I'll get into later. I want to start playing the game for everybody. It runs this cutscene at the beginning. And I don't know if you can hear the music playing right now, Jeffrey, but this is Akira Yamaoka. We talked about him in a past show off. He did music for Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the first games that I ever recall hearing him in. And I think his music in this game helps set the mood and atmosphere, which, if you ask me, better than story, better than gameplay. When I play a game, especially a horror game, I look for mood and atmosphere.
Yeah, I agree.
So he literally set the tone.
The Silent Hill soundtrack in general, like the song for it, is so iconic too.
Yeah.
You know, it's very iconic. It's very eerie.
You know, all this, the capture that they got going on here with the characters moving like that, it always impressed me as a kid. And I loved the game. It scared the crap out of me, though. And
yeah. I played a little bit of Silent Hill. That's kind of why you're showing it to me. But a little bit of Silent Hill. But I played Clock Tower.
Okay, Clock Tower's a good one. Yeah, absolutely. I remember playing that one back in the day, too. I could never get too far in it because
Neither could I.
Motherfucker with the scissors would always kill me.
But it was like almost like Outlast is now. We gotta run and hide and shit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like that.
Yep. Well, it is Silent Hill's 15th anniversary, so let's get into this.
Happy birthday.
This game is scary, so be careful, everybody. I don't know if you're got a weak stomach.
You're gonna shit your pants.
This is our protagonist, Harry Mason. He wakes up after getting into a car accident, and what happened was his daughter that was riding with him is missing.
What's his daughter's name again?
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Short, black hair. Cheryl. So, you play as Harry Mason. I always thought the loading screen, it looked like Harry Mason's pants. It looked like he wet them.
Why?
I always thought that as a kid.
He's got a sweaty butt.
He has a sweaty butt. The voice acting in the game, not the greatest, but back then it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's a lot of fog everywhere. Now, this was used back in the day because the technical limitations of just video game systems at the time made it to where you couldn't have this huge expansive world without draw distance and things popping in and stuff like that. So to combat that, they put fog everywhere and darkness, which actually helped the tone of the game. So it was a smart move,
Yeah.
Both technologically and just to build the atmosphere of your game. So very smart on their part, if you ask me. Footsteps.
Is there any dialogue?
Yeah. So there is full of voice acting. I know the beginning sequence here, it doesn't show it, but it does. And I always thought of it as if it doesn't say it, it's just his inner monologue. It's just him saying it to himself, so it doesn't matter.
That makes sense.
So that's your daughter, maybe.
Is that Cheryl?
We'll find out, Mr. Harry Mason. We gotta go follow her. And you can hear the background, the eerie music, again, the atmosphere.
Yeah, it sets the tone
Where
very
are you
well.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
Hey,
so when
wait,
I was 16, here's
stop.
my story. When I was 16, I went to a store. It was once a Smith's and Smitty's, and then it became a Fred Meyer, and then a Fry's Marketplace. Anyway, in this store, you could buy games.
What the hell is a Smith and Smitty's?
Smith and Smitty's? You wouldn't know. But in this store, you could buy video games, and I went in there looking for a PS1 game when I was 16, and I went with my mother. And she told me, Jordan, you got to get a game that everybody can play. You got to get a game for everybody. That everybody have fun playing. So I almost picked up Street Skater. If you remember that game, Street Skater.
No.
Okay, it was a skateboarding game. It wasn't the greatest. It was before Tony Hawk.
Is
But
that Cool Borders?
it wasn't even that good. There's an arcade for it, and you could actually stand on a skateboard.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it was that, but the PS1 version. It wasn't very good.
Is it the one they had like I think I don't want to say Primus, or they had
I don't know.
Some
They had
band.
some. They definitely had licensed music. At least I want to say. Either way, I almost bought that game. It's not a very good game, but I almost bought it so everybody could play it. But I really actually wanted this game. The guy working there, he was actually a Sony representative,
Whoa, look at
and
that.
yeah, a lot of blood. He was a Sony representative, and he says, "Hey, I heard I couldn't help but overhear you. Buy the game you want, and here's a demo disc of a bunch of games so that your family can play." So I was able to get Silent Hill and take home a demo disc full of a bunch of cool games.
Oh, that's cool.
So that started my love affair for Silent Hill, and it freaked me out. And in Resident Evil, you had static shots just like this, where the camera stayed
yeah,
the same.
I remember that.
But Silent Hill took it one step further, and they made those static shots dynamic, like this.
I guess I didn't even think about that, but that is kind of a
It was definitely new for the
yeah,
time.
definitely new.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're walking through this alleyway looking for Cheryl now.
And you saw a big pile of blood, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Didn't
We did.
mention
Shit's
anything
gonna.
about it.
He doesn't know what's going on yet. We're not supposed to know what's going on yet.
I don't know what's going on.
The iconic sirens.
That's strange. It's getting darker. Oh,
So now I've got my trusty lighter.
and that's the that's creepy.
Now, again, the sound design's awesome, but in the daytime, in the regular world, it's all foggy. It looks like it's snowing. It's ashes. And in the dark world, nighttime, it rains. So you know you're in some shit when it starts to rain.
And that's kind of where the idea for Downpour came too, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the idea for Shattered Memories, where everything's covered in snow and ice, is because honestly, I thought it was snow when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you can hear the siren too. That's when you know when shit's fucking kicking off.
everything
this-
turns to chain link and rusted.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When the movie came out, I was really excited about this Silent Hill movie.
Yeah,
I remember a lot of people saying, "Oh, it didn't follow the game." Bleh, it's it."
right.
So far, to be honest with you, it seems pretty close.
Yeah, no, I was super excited because when I was watching it, Rada Mitchell's character, she goes through a scenario just
Yeah.
like this, and I was like, holy crap, they're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
And it ended up not being the greatest movie, but I was still happy they, paid
How's
attention to it.
this?
Like that guy.
What's going on here?
Oh, you sound so scared.
Wouldn't you be scared?
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh shit.
That's so terrifying.
Okay, these little children with knives, they had to censor it. They look more like kids in the Japanese version, but for the American audience, they didn't want them to look like children as much.
Really?
And I died.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
You fucking suck.
Well, it's been a long time since I played it.
Yeah, it's been forever since I played it. I remember those terror.
Or did I die?
Fucking M Night Shyamalan me. I didn't even think that was gonna happen. Sups to Bibble. I remember her because I thought she was hot when I was younger.
Yeah?
Yeah, she
You're
had
into that
big-
dude look?
She had big tits.
That strong, muscular woman.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's good.
How do you feel?
Good, baby.
Oh, like I've
Like
been
if been
run
ran
over by a truck. But I'm
I'm
alright,
alright,
I guess.
Okay. I don't need you
Glad
to
to
talk to me
hear
as well as that guy.
You
You're not
from
Harry
around
Mason.
here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
So you've played through obviously all the Silent Hills.
Yeah, I
Wait a
have.
Indeed,
second,
every
I'm
one of
just a
them.
tourist.
What's your favorite one?
Shattered Memories.
Really?
Yeah,
here
the
for
remake
vacation.
of this, the retelling of
Just
this,
got here.
absolutely.
Did you like it because it was instead of the kind of combat situations,
I
it
don't
was
know
more
what
run
happened.
and
Yeah, see, so
fear
I don't
of it?
really care so much for the combat. I don't need combat in my games.
I'd like to
Again, it's
find
not the
out
gameplay that
myself.
I like. It's the atmosphere and the story.
Yeah.
The story helps, but definitely the atmosphere. And Shattered Memories nailed that. And
Have
the
you
way it
seen a
mind
little
freaks you
girl?
through the whole thing. Yeah, I used mind freak just now.
Yeah, okay.
The way
Just
it fucks with your head the whole time is awesome.
Short
What's that
black hair.
asshole's name?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Angel.
My dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Act like you don't know.
But enough about that game. We'll do a show
The
off
only
for that
person I've
later.
seen in this town is you.
But this one in particular, it
is
hooked me.
everybody?
It was something different. It scared the crap
Yeah.
out of me.
I'll
And
tell
see,
you if I knew
with the
what
newer
you
ones that came out, people cried foul. It got a lot of flack from
From
the
what I can tell.
people who review games and
I
stuff.
think
Say they're not that great.
The
They say
Room
Silent
got-
Hill 2 is the best Silent Hill of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And I think it has a lot to do with the nostalgia, how
Mm-hmm.
old you were at the time, being desensitized. I mean, I'll
What's
be
your
honest with
name?
you, this game and part 2 scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, but now they're.
But now they don't.
Yeah.
But I would go as far as to say the new
Harry
ones
Mason.
is just as scary, but I'm just used to
Yeah.
it. So So to put that in
Sybil
perspective,
Bennett.
I showed my girlfriend the newer games first. She didn't play
I'm a
these
police
ones.
officer from
She
Brand,
loved
the
them.
next
She
town
thought they were
over.
great. You know, she wasn't complaining about the combat. It wasn't about that. She
Yeah.
wasn't complaining about you know
phones are
the
all
story.
there.
She
And
thought
the
it was an
review,
interesting
too.
story she's never heard before.
I'm going back to calling
Then I
some
went back to show her
reinforcements.
these ones, and she thought the controls were so bad, and it was so slowly and poorly paced. And I thought that was very interesting. It comes down to like which one you played first. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Where do you
still
think you're
enjoy all the
going?
newer ones. I think they're just
My
fine. As a
daughter.
matter of fact, I'd go
I've
as far
gotta
as to say
find
the
her.
gameplay in the newer ones are much better than the gameplay in the older ones.
No
we just
way.
have a soft spot for these, which is
Yeah.
all right. It's totally fine to have, but you know, Silent Hill, and I think as long
In
as they
that
keep
case, I
freaking
need
me
to
out
find
and they
her
keep doing a
now.
good job with
Cheryl's
crazy
my little
stories and
girl.
situations, then I'm down.
Yeah.
I can't just
This,
leave her out
when
there by
when this
herself.
came out too, when Silent Hill came out, Clock Tower, a lot of those horror games
Have you got a
were
gun?
were primarily like a Japanese market that
Sure,
that would
yeah.
be imported to the U.S. If you think about games back then, U.S. developers
Take
weren't making a
this
lot of scary games,
and
not
hope
as
you
good
don't
ones
have to
like
use
this.
it.
And it kind of tells true now, where if you look
Now
at
listen to me.
some of the scarier games that come out
Before you
American,
pull the trigger,
if you'll,
know who you're
I don't know
shooting.
a better way to say that.
Let's be PC here.
yeah.
And don't do
You know,
it unless you have
Uncle
to.
Sam releases
Uncle
a,
Sam
a
related.
horror game. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's more shooting and
Yeah,
stuff. and
it's
look at Dead
shooting, blowing
Space.
heads
Yeah.
off, shit exploding,
Got it.
which is
It's
good.
fine too. I love Dead Space.
Yeah,
by the
sure.
way.
But
Yeah.
I agree with you in the
Thanks.
sense where this is more of it tells a whole story. Look at this cutscene, you know, this
You
whole
do best to stay
dynamic of it,
nearby.
and then you go out,
I'll
and the
be back
monsters are
with help as quick
terrifying.
as I
Yeah, I love the design.
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere for sure.
Mhm.
The spooky music. And you know what's funny is this was a Japanese company trying to do a Western RP or
Yeah.
a Western game,
And
trying really hard to make a game
I think
that the
that's-
American audience would like. They even copied Kindergarten Cop for Kindergarten Cop for their the school scene. All
What?
the school stuff. There's posters. There's the way it looks. It's directly ripped out of Kindergarten Cop. I'm not
Oh,
even
no
kidding.
way.
Yeah, because that's what they looked at. Like, what's an American school scene? Well, Kindergarten Cop's popular.
Yeah.
You know that
Arnold
Arnold.
Schwarzenegger.
It is not a tumor. But I just put that back down. I don't know why.
I couldn't play a lot of scary games when I was younger. Unfortunately, because they were too scary, I couldn't do it. Like Clock Tower, I couldn't play at night. I could only play during the day if somebody else was home.
See that flyby?
Yeah, I know. That's part.
This
scared
is
the
where you
crap out
save,
of
by
me.
the way. I'm not going to bother with that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what's interesting is, you know, they still make those crazy, out of this world, scary games like Deadly Premonition recently came out. Not recently, but, you know, games like that still come out. And I love them too. The thing is I'm terrified of these games. I'm absolutely terrified. These aren't, you know, games that I can play by myself. At least, especially back in the day, I didn't even want to go into the next room. But I have my whole family sitting there watching, and we're like, "Come on, let's go to the next room. Let's go to the next room," and it was just too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I like it. I think fear is like one of the coolest emotions because you can't control it. It just
Yeah.
happens to you.
Yeah.
You know.
This part, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio. What's going on with that radio?
What's
Yeah.
that? Huh. Radio. What's going on with that radio?
It's so bad. It's like it's his name, like the movie. But this is a pretty creepy thing in itself too. That shit. Yeah, it's popping off. Shoot him.
I don't even remember how to shoot, to be honest with you.
It's left.
Oh, yeah,
left.
I got it. I gotta run out of here.
You're
Alright.
screwed.
It's cool. He's not gonna get me today.
Can you like stomp on their head too?
What's happening to this place?
You do stomp on their head, but not for the first bad guy you kill.
Okay.
So,
But-
and you know, guys, I think that's it. So, Jeff, what do you think of Silent Hill?
It's amazing.
Yeah, you know,
It's creepy, but like you said, if you go back playing it now, being desensitized and seeing everything that's come out, it unfortunately loses that, which is very interesting. But if you're nostalgic of it, it's still a great game.
yeah, absolutely.
If you remember how you felt when you first played it, going back and going, oh, I remember when this part.
And you know, as a fan of horror in general, just like you would recommend, you know, people who like, you know, interesting, you know, weird horror stuff, I would say go back and watch, you know, Twin Peaks and Twilight Zone. You know, they're not the best, you know, by today's standards as far as scaring you, but they're really cool thrillers and, you know, got some
Yeah.
interesting themes. And I'd say this is a classic
Like,
among that. so.
X-Files.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
It's
I mean,
still today, it's still like, ugh.
yeah, you have to experience it. So I
Mhm.
would suggest going back and playing something like this, even though it is a little dated nowadays. But
Yeah.
you know,
So
Again,
happy birthday.
Yeah,
Silent
happy
Hill.
15th anniversary, Silent Hill. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Radio. What's going on with that radio?
Absolutely nothing, Jeff.
Oh, radio.
See you next time.
Love ya.